Good morning, this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day's support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Tuesday the 1st of December. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, we're looking at the hourly candlesticks. Choppy start to the morning here. Gonna need to see Bitcoin avoid the pivot at 19,245 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 2295. Bitcoin's going to need some support from the broader market to break out from yesterday's high, 19,844, and through to 20,000 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of breakout, could see Bitcoin test resistance at 20,500 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 28,993. A fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level sitting at 18,647 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should stay clear of sub 18,000 levels. The second major support level sits at 17,597. Looking at the MACD, we saw Bitcoin avoid a bearish cross late yesterday and a slight widening of the bullish histogram this morning, supporting some upside early on. On the EMAs, however, it is a bit more conclusive, with the 50 pulling away from the 100 and the 200, suggestive of further upside through the day. So key through the early part of the morning, avoid a fall through the pivot and break through yesterday's high 19,844 to bring 20,000 levels and resistance levels into play. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar. Bearish start to the morning here. Gonna need to see Ethereum avoid a fall through the pivot at 601.7 to take a run at the first major resistance level, saying at 632.3. Gonna need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break through to 623 levels, however, which is a key resistance level on the trend analysis. So barring an extended crypto rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of another breakout, should see Ethereum test resistance at 650 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 647.59. A fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level sitting at 586.41 into play. Barring a crypto meltdown on the day, Ethereum should stay clear of the second major support level sitting at 555.81. Looking at the MACDs, we're seeing a late bullish cross yesterday, though nothing conclusive on the histograms to suggest an upward move on the morning. On the EMAs, however, the 50 has moved away marginally from the 100 and the 200, supporting further upside in the day ahead. So keep through the early part of the morning, avoid a fall through the pivot at 601.7 and break out through to 623 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, tracking the broader market, slightly bearish this morning. Gonna need to Litecoin avoid the pivot at 84.31 to take a run at the first major resistance level, saying at 91.88. Gonna need to see support from the broader market to break out from yesterday's high, 88.53, and through to 90 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, got the second major resistance level at 96.09 and the 62% fib at 100 to cap any upside on the day. A fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level sitting at 80.10 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should steer well clear of the second major support level sitting at 72.53. Looking at the MACD, got a slight narrowing of the bullish histograms, but no sign of a bearish cross just yet, so need to keep an eye on that through the morning. On the EMAs, however, we are seeing the 50 pull away from the 100 and the 200, and we saw the 100 cross through the 200, supporting yesterday's late rally. So keep through the early part of the day, avoid a fall through the pivot, break through to 90s to then bring resistance levels and 100 levels into play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar. Slightly bullish start to the morning. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid the pivot at 0.6507 to take a run at the first major resistance level, saying at 0.7024. Going to need to see support from the broader markets break out from yesterday's high, 0.68898, and break through to 0.7 levels, however. So barring an extended rally through the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of breakout, Should see Ripple's XRP test resistance at 0.72s. Second major resistance level sits at 0.7407. A fall through the pivot would bring the 23.6% fib at 0.6274 and the first major support level sitting at 0.6124 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should avoid sub 0.6 levels. Second major support level sits at 0.5607. Looking at the MACD, it's got a slight widening of the bullish histogram this morning, providing support early on. On the EMAs, we're also seeing a slight move away the 50 from the 100 and the 200, suggestive of a further upside through the day ahead. So key through the early part of the morning, avoid a fall through the pivot, break through yesterday's high 68898 to then bring 0.7 levels and resistance levels into play.